morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and to all the viewers watching right across Africa. Welcome to the official draw of the CAF Women's Champions League CAF Qualifier 2025, which is set to take place in Johannesburg, South Africa, from 22 to 31 August 2025. My name is Joshua Nip, the competitions manager at CAF, and I'll be the draw master for today. Firstly, I'd just like to welcome my colleague Mamelo, who will be assisting us with the draw today. Thank you very much, Mamelo. I'll start by explaining the format of the competition and the draw procedures. We have a record 10 teams in the competition this year. The 10 teams will be split into 3 groups. Group A with 4 teams and Group B and C with 3 teams each. The group winners and the best second place team will progress to the semi-final stage, with the winner of the competition qualifying for the final CAF Women's Champions League competition taking place in November this year. We have 3 seeded teams based on the host country and the member association's performances at the 2024 CAF Qualifiers. These are, heading up Group A, we have the hosts, Mamelodi Sundowns from South Africa. Heading up Group B, we have Gaborone United Ladies from Botswana. And heading up Group C, we have Oriental's Queens from Zimbabwe. The remaining 7 teams are divided into 2 pots, also according to the member association's performances at the 2024 CAF Qualifiers. So in pot 1, we have the 3 higher ranked teams, which are Young Buffaloes from Eswatini, Costa do Sol from Mozambique, and Intopwa FC from Malawi. And then in pot 2, we have the 4 lower ranked teams, which are Beauties FC from Namibia, Sesco Ndola Girls from Zambia, Olympic Demeroni from Comoros, and Kick for Life Women from Lesotho. So just to explain how the draw will work. So the first 3 balls drawn from pot 1 will take up position 2 across the groups. We then move over to pot 2, where the first 3 balls will take up position 3 across the groups, and then the last ball drawn will take up position 4 in Group A, and then that will complete the draw for today. Mamelo, it's your time. Please step over to pot 1, give a good stir for us, and draw the first ball. So this team will join Mamelodi Sundowns in Group A, position 8-2. Intopwa FC Malawi. Intopwa FC debuted in the CAF Women's Champions League CAF Qualifier in 2023, but unfortunately did not make it out the group stage. Thank you, Mamelo. The next ball will go to position B2, and they'll join Gaborone United. Young Buffaloes from Eswatini. So Young Buffaloes returned to the competition for the 4th time. They qualified for the semi-finals at last year's edition of the competition. And then we move across to Group C, position C2. Thank you, Mamelo. Costa do Sol from Mozambique. Costa do Sol returned for a 3rd time to the CAF Qualifiers. They finished 3rd in 2023. Thank you, Mamelo. We now move over to pot 2 and back to Group A, position A3. Thank you. So this team will join Mamelodi Sundowns and Intopwa FC. Position A3. Beauties FC from Namibia. Beauties FC will make their debut at the CAF Women's Champions League CAF Qualifier this year. They won the Namibian Women's Super League in 2025. We then move over to Group B, position B3. This is to conclude Group B. Kick for Life Women from Lesotho. Kick for Life will also make their debut in this year's Women's Champions League CAF Qualifier. We look forward to welcoming them. So that concludes Group B, and then move over to Group C, position C3. Mamelo. This team will join Oriental's Queens from Zimbabwe and Costa do Sol from Mozambique. Olympic Demeroni from Comoros. So Olympic Demeroni finished 4th on debut in 2022 and also appeared in the 2023 edition of this competition. So that concludes Group B and Group C, and then Mamelo back to Group A, position A4 to complete the draw. Zesco Ndolo Girls FC from Zambia. Zesco also make their debut at this year's edition of the competition, after Green Buffaloes had represented Zambia in the previous editions of this competition. So just a recap of the groups. In Group A, we have Mamelodi Sundowns from South Africa, Intopwa FC from Malawi, Beauties FC from Namibia, and Zesco Ndolo Girls from Zambia. And in Group B, we have Gaborone United Ladies from Botswana, Young Buffaloes from Eswatini, Kick for Life Women from Lesotho. And then in Group C, we have Orientals Queens from Zimbabwe, Costa do Sol from Mozambique, and Olympic Demeroni from Comoros. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the draw for today. The fixtures will be distributed through our media outlets. We'll be back shortly for the draw of the Under-17 Boys AFCON Qualifiers 2026. Thank you very much.